Everyone. Today we're going to be testing out Claude Code to build out AI agents in n8n. Honestly, Claude Code has taken social media by storm. Everyone's been testing the tool out, and today we're going to try it out with n8n to see if it can connect into the MCP to help us build out some AI agents. So I've seen some videos on this, but I haven't tried it out myself. So far, what I have is the MCP connected into my specific cloud instance of n8n. And we're just going to give this a spin to see if it actually works, if it's accurate, and see how far we can get with a tool like this. So I'm going to do a few examples today, or maybe just one that's on my mind. And then in future videos, we'll actually see how far we can take this Claude Code to n8n connection. So let's give it a spin. Okay, so at this point, I've got the MCP into my n8n instance already connected. And now I can just prompt Claude into building out the workflow that I want to build out. I think what's on top of my mind right now is analyzing some stocks. I've been investing a lot, so I want to particularly be able to add in any stock ticker or company name and then be able to analyze that and then maybe do some transformation on that too. So I'll just keep it simple. And I'll say, I'd like to build a workflow where I can insert company name or a stock ticker, and then have an AI agent do research on that stock, give me sentiment from the news and social media, and then find a resource where it can give me a target price. And then what else should I do? I guess, okay, and then if it has positive outlook, I could say, if it looks like the target price is more than the current price, send it to a Google Sheet so I can keep an eye on it. All right, so it's pretty simple workflow, and the cool thing is that, in an ideal state, it can update workflows as well. But let's just keep it simple right now and see if it can actually get into my instance, build something useful that we can start off with. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll check back here in a few seconds. So right now it's in plan mode, thinking about how it's actually going to build the workflow. That's one of the advantages of connecting into the MCP, is that it has context of the thousands of nodes that exist within n8n. So we're going to let this cook for a while, see what it comes up with, and yeah, we'll take a look at the workflow and see if it's any good. Okay, so actually it's prompting me on a few questions on how I'd like to trigger this workflow. So it's actually giving me some input on how it should be designed. It's saying, should I do a form input, manual trigger, webhook, or something else? With the MCP, it actually knows a few of the trigger nodes. It's not just building JSON from scratch. I'll go with the form input. I think that makes sense. Which stock data API do you have access to? I don't know if I have any of these, but let's just go with Yahoo Finance. Where should the AI agent get news sentiment from? Yeah, let's go ahead with Google News. Social media sentiment. Yeah, I should probably have access to some of these APIs, but we'll be able to see if it's built. Oh, this is pretty cool. Include Reddit. I wonder how it's going to get access to that. Try Reddit. So I'll submit my answers for my data sources and then continue to let it cook. The cool part is that it can actually think intelligently through how it's going to get this workflow done, but we'll be able to see if it actually can connect into those sources. All right, guys, as you can see here, in 3 minutes and 5 seconds, it's completed my workflow, or, that's how long the overall process took. So now I'm going to switch over to n8n and see what it built out for me. All right, guys, now we are back in my n8n instance, and this is the logic it built out for me. So let's take a look. So honestly, a few errors that I'm noticing. I mentioned that I wanted for it to be an AI agent, which it's no issue. I mean, it's still going into ChatGPT and then doing some analysis there, and it's doing some logic here. But I guess really the biggest thing is AI agent, so I can make it clear in my next prompt, like, hey, I want an AI agent specifically. But at least for a first pass, it's not bad. But let's see what's happening here. So it's first taking a form of whatever stock ticker I want to add in. It's being able to get that stock data, and it's connecting into the Yahoo Finance API. So I don't have that credential, but I can easily add that in. And then where is it getting the news from? Okay, from the newsdata.io. So it's collecting news from one resource, then it's getting Reddit posts. So it's how's it gonna do this? I guess it's just gonna look it up on Wall Street bets. That's interesting. I mean, not a bad way to do some research on what people are talking about, but it's funny that it's got Wall Street bets in there. So then it's taken those two pieces of sentiment analysis, merging all that data, giving it to ChatGPT. Let's see which model it gave. I don't know if this is okay. So it's basically just plugging into OpenAI. It's gonna do analysis on that, parse the AI response. Okay, wow. So it's got some JavaScript to be able to handle that. And then it's just looking at the target price to make sure that it's equal to or greater. And if it looks good, then it will log into a new Google Sheet so I can keep up to date with it and then return the results. Let's see what that is. Respond with JSON. So it's pretty cool. I didn't have to drag in any nodes. I just had to prompt Claude to build out this workflow. So this example was quite simple and I can keep on iterating upon it to get exactly what I want. But if you think about it, imagine you think of an idea, you think about it further through ChatGPT or Claude, build out the idea, maybe even do like a full PRD, and you plug that into Claude Code with the exact specs that you want, and then maybe a few back and forths to solidify the idea to make sure that it's the exact workflow that you want. You no longer have to build within n8n itself. You can actually just get started with Claude Code. So it's pretty amazing that Opus 4.5 can have that connection into the n8n MCP and build workflows on your behalf. This is my first experience with Claude Code and building out n8n. I'm gonna have some fun with this tool, see what else we can build. But as a first pass, this is a pretty cool experience. I imagine we can get more complex. I'm gonna try to test the limits of this in future videos. But I hope you found this insightful. I encourage you to give this a chance because you never know what idea you could build, especially now that you don't have to think about workflows from the ground up. You can get that first, second, or third pass all done within Claude Code with a matter of prompting. Some really cool stuff here. If you like this type of content where I talk about AI agents, and building within n8n, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.